I don't know about you guys, but it's September in the Midwest and I'm still mowing. We've had so much rain this year that it's still going strong. Normally in the Midwest, by August or late summer, you know your grass is either dead or dormant or just giving up hope. But it's still going strong, just look. She's beautiful, I know. So let's change that lawnmower blade. On that note, let me tell you why I'm making this video. Before I was a dad and I became obsessed with lawn care, I took my lawnmower blade one time, or I took my lawnmower to a small engine shop. Before I had kids, but I still had a yard, still was a homeowner, and I know I needed to sharpen it, but I didn't know how to do it. So I took it to a small engine shop, and they told me to take about a week. Well, a week later, I show up and ask, hey, I'm here to pick up my blade, and they're like, what's your name? Who are you? And in the background, I hear a bench grinder start up, and boom, they sharpened it in 10 minutes. And they told me it was gonna take a week. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. First step, tilt the lawnmower over. Air filter up, on its side, on the floor. Just make sure you have the air filter up. Don't have the air filter facing down. You're gonna have a bad time. Second thing you're gonna wanna do is unplug the spark plug. Last thing you want is this thing firing off with your hand under there. All right, now that you got it on its underside or tilted up, I'm using a bench. You guys could use the floor, whatever you're comfortable doing. I'm going to show you the first method first. That's going to be with an impact wrench. And I don't mean an impact driver, an impact wrench with a 3/8 anvil, no 1/2 inch, this ain't a lug nut. You could try with a impact driver, but it's going to be really hard to get a lot of torque through this tiny little stem here. You're going to put the wrench on the nut, righty tighty, lefty loosey, just like that. Bam, she's off. Use a wooden block to stop the blade or one of these. I picked it up from Home Depot. They're super cheap. I don't know how much they are, but they're cheap. Just go buy one if you don't have an impact wrench. Set it up in there, patten her down. Make sure the lawnmower blade is between the two walls there, so she doesn't go anywhere. Stops her from turning left or right. So we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. If this is your first time looking under your lawnmower deck, congratulations. It's pretty neat. There's a lot going on here. And that being said, if it's been a while since you took this nut off, it's probably going to give you hell. So if you don't have an impact wrench, and you can't get it off with your standard 3/8 ratchet, get some extension, get some leverage. I have a breaker bar that's probably about 17 inches long. Some people will use a pipe, but if she's giving you hell, just put it on the nut there, or the bolt, and turn. She'll come right loose. Now that we got the old blade off, if you're gonna reuse it, or if you wanna reuse it, let me start over. If it's reusable, you're gonna have to sharpen and balance it. So to sharpen it, you're gonna either need a bench grinder, or a belt sander, or an angle grinder, or my personal favorite, a file. That's what I recommend. Times are simpler. And if you don't have any of those tools, you're gonna have to awkwardly go over to that guy with a really nice yard and ask him to sharpen your lawnmower blade, and no one wants to do that. So just go out and buy a new blade. So these are normally balanced and sharpened, 9 times out of 10 from the factory, but I always like to double check. So let's check that out. All right, so this is a blade balancer. If you don't have one of these, you could use a nail in the wall, only if you have a round circle for a center. If you have a star, you can't use a nail, it won't balance out right. But we're gonna use this balancer. She's pretty accurate, she better be. Just pop her up like that. And she is heavy as hell on the right side. So, your normal consumer will slap it on, you probably won't do any harm, but since I'm that guy, I'm gonna take a little bit off this end with my file and then rebalance her. All right, next thing you're gonna wanna do is get out your owner's manual, and if you're that guy that threw away the owner's manual the day after you bought your lawnmower, first off, shame on you. Second off, you're in luck. You can get online. Any manufacturer has all this information on their websites. I've even seen links at homedepot.com and Lowe's to show you a link to the manufacturer website for product warranty and owner's manuals. So this is very, very, very available for you. Right here it says 35 foot-pounds. So that's what we're gonna set it to. So we're gonna get our torque stick next. All right guys, for this next step, you're gonna have to have a torque wrench. You can't wing it, you can't guess when it comes to tightening the lawnmower bolt. If you do, I recommend a digital one. These are super accurate. If you don't have a digital one, you could use a Harbor Freight one. This works just fine. I've had this for years. It's my first torque stick. It works just fine as long as you zero it out when you're done. Don't keep tension on it. These run about 20 bucks at Harbor Freight. And if you don't know what Harbor Freight is, you're fixing to find out. All right, we got our torque stick ready. We got our blade holder in place. You will need that or a block of wood so the blade doesn't shift while we tighten it down. The manufacturer wants us to tighten it down to about 35 to 40 foot-pounds, so we go ahead and set our torque stick to that. Make sure it's foot-pounds and not inch-pounds. Put the socket on the bolt, hand over the top of the head, and just start cranking her righty-tighty till she clicks. Once she clicks, you're good. Don't go any further than that, she's tight. All right, we're about wrapped up here. Last thing we want to do is plug the spark plug in to hear it click like that. And you just replaced your own lawnmower blade. Feels good, don't it? Thanks for watching.